Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Jello? Bleg Jello. That's an interesting name. Good morning, Beach Doodle. Good morning, Nicole. Happy Monday, everybody. I don't know why I say that. Like, why do we say that? Happy Monday. Although Mondays do tend to be, I don't know, entry point energy, shift energy, right? I don't know about you, but I'm ready for a shift because I'm all set with this year. Like 2022 can take a fucking bow and move along. Blurina. Okay, Blurina. I got you. Good morning, Jen. Good morning, Anna. Hi, Yvonne. Good morning, Nikki. Hi, Star Sky. Good morning, Valerie. Yeah, 22 is out. Totally out. And it just keeps, I don't know. I have to stop saying certain phrases. I know that. Like, I feel like I keep saying, okay, well, certainly you can't top that 2022. And then 22 is like, hold my beer while I completely show you that I can absolutely up this ante. So I don't love it. I don't love it. And thanks to everybody for your sweet comments and all the love that you sent about Kitty. If you were here on Friday, you could probably tell that I was not feeling so great. It was hard to even look at my face, honestly, that day on the live, but it's been a rough time because, you know, what the fuck? It wasn't like I had an old cat that was on his way out. It was just like such a shock. But you know, I don't know. It just seems to keep coming. So it's Monday. We're rolling up on full moon time. I think a full moon is on the 8th. And interestingly enough, it's 3 days. This is one of the first full moons that I am not feeling called to do channeling, and I'm going to listen to that. Instead, what I'm feeling called to do is a little bit of a different energetic event, not this week, but the last one of 2022 will be most likely on December 29th, because that is a date that's popping up for me as far as energy. It'll be after the um, winter solstice, and it'll kind of like be kicking us off into the next year. So that's going to be our next channeling event. And I will send out information on that through my email list and also, of course, on Instagram. So stay tuned for that. If you have a normalized magic pass or an event pass with me, you can use it for that. Okay. Um, the other announcements for this morning is today is the last day to apply for the first round of the 3-month normalized magic lifestyle membership. And I'm excited to get that going. We don't start until 2023, but you're going to have a homework assignment coming up next week to kind of connect everybody together. So if you're like, what is that? It's a 3-month membership, and we meet once a week every Sunday night. And all channeling events are included in that as well. But it's going to give you support and give you some friends to walk through 2023 with, and just, learn more about your own energy, how to work with energy. It's really an amazing group of people. If you enjoy coffee and magic, it's like coffee and magic, but like on steroids. It's going to be good. So I'm looking forward to that. Everything is, of course, recorded. So if you can't make things live, that's okay. If you want to learn more about that and apply, you can go to sarahmala.com/lifestyle. I'll be going through the rest of the applications today. So if you haven't heard back from me, you'll hear back today. But applications are closed, registration is closed at midnight tonight. And you can still apply, but it'll be for March then that I'll be looking at those applications after tonight. So if you're interested, hop on in. It should be a wild ride. Like I said, I'm ready for a new energy for next year. Um, but yeah, I actually, I wasn't sure if I was in an emotional space to talk to you about this morning, but I actually am. So I want to tell you a little bit about last week. Not to bum you out, but for those of you who don't know, my cat died last week. And I've had Kitty for 12 years. And Kitty was already a grown up cat when I got him. I got him the month that I found out I was pregnant with my first son. He's moved with us from 3 different houses, and this cat, like, he's always been a character, and he's always just been Kitty. Like, I tried to give him a good name, like, I named him Bagheera from the Jungle Book, and he wouldn't respond to that name. He only would respond to Kitty. He was like, "My name's Kitty," and so I'm that person who's like they're like, "What's your cat's name?" And I'm like, "Kitty," you know? But he, he would always come when you call him, and like he was like a little dog, and it was just my best boy. And I always felt with Kitty like I couldn't control him. Like I've always had dogs that you have like you really do have to micromanage your dogs a bit, right? And with Kitty, it just felt like he was his own being, and like it really wasn't my place to tell him what to do or not to do, and so Kitty lived a very free life, and has gotten into a lot of scrapes in his life. He's lost an eye, he's had emergency abdominal surgery, but he just always popped back. And in the past few years, since I've had my spiritual awakening and been doing so much work, and there's been such upheaval here in my life, Kitty has been such an amazing support to me and such a magical being. And learning how magical he is and how to connect with him as my gifts have opened and deepened has been so amazing, because I didn't know I could talk to animals before. And then I learned that, oh, I could do that. And so it's just been like, doing energy work with him. He's such a Reiki cat. Like anytime I would do treatments here at the house or any event here in person, Kitty was always there. Sometimes he was here for Coffee and Magic or for channeling. Oftentimes, even if you didn't see him, Kitty was in the room anytime I was doing any type of thing here. So Kitty's just, he's family. He's my baby. And when I got sick a little over a month ago, Kitty got sick too. And I thought he had an upper respiratory infection. In fact, I thought he had COVID because apparently cats can get COVID because I had COVID. So we were sick at the same time and he was like wheezing and stuff. And I remember I took him to the vet and they put him on antibiotics. That didn't really do anything. And he just didn't get better. And it just, like things are just off. But then I was so sick and I was getting irritated with the vet. So it was about 3 weeks. He went on 2 different courses of antibiotics. And um, the last one was last week, because they had found that his tooth was loose, and they thought, oh, it's the tooth that's loose, and it's created an abscess and an infection. We're going to remove the tooth, and that'll fix it. And I was like, good, thank God. Like, take the damn tooth out, and let's move on. So they took the tooth out and put him on another round of antibiotics, and he just wasn't getting better. He was just kind of like hovering in this weird space and he still couldn't breathe right. It didn't make any sense. Like nothing was making sense to me with like what we thought was happening versus what I was witnessing with him. But he was still eating and drinking and like still being Kitty for the most part, but not really. So I had left last week, like Wednesday, for like 24 hours. And when I came back, I went to find him to go put medicine in his mouth, put a pill in there. And when I opened his mouth, I saw this massive abscess. And I was like, fuck. Like I literally spun out of the house, put him in his crate, and went to the vet. And as soon as they saw him, they like came out with him in their arms. And I was like, what are you doing? Like this is giving me all the bad vibes. And they were just like, he has he has something that there's nothing to do. Like it's basically like he's got a few days. It's about pain management, making sure he can still eat, and like, what do you want to do? And like, they were ready to put him down right then. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, give me my cat. So, of course, like, I had a complete meltdown on Thursday and came home with Kitty. And I sat with him and connected with him. But I was in a really like, I was in an emotional wreck state, but I was connecting with him. And he said to me that, he's this cycle is over. Like, our time is done here, like with him in this body, but like our time is not done. Like, we're still working together. And he said he was going to come back as an orange cat. And this time he would be really small. He'd be like a kitten, so he could have a whole long time together with me. And he said those things to me, and I felt like maybe I was making it up because of my grief, like, hearing things that I wanted to hear. And this is where my story gets to the point without just like being here to make you sad on a Monday morning. Um, Pause just to tell you something here. It's hard to lose a loved one. Okay. Like, death isn't easy. I don't think it's supposed to be. It hurts. It's sad. It's terrible. But understanding energy, like doing what we do, right? All the time, and just constantly talking about it and understanding it in new ways, it's impossible to not apply that to the process of death as well. It doesn't make it less painful, but it does change it a bit. Okay. So I connected with this cat and I wasn't trusting myself because I was too upset. But I already knew I was going to, put him down. I knew I was going to do it at home. I knew it was going to happen. But I remembered there's an animal communicator, and she's here in this area. I've never met her, but her name is Dawn, and I've leaned upon her several times in the past like 8 years. She's helped me find Kitty when he went missing one time. She's talked to, one of my dogs when my dog was having a behavioral problem, like over the years. Like, Dawn's just really great. So I reached out to Dawn Thursday night and I said, if you have any availability, like, I just need to talk to you and like figure out what to do, like whatever. And she's like, absolutely. So on Friday afternoon, I talked to Dawn. And the first thing that Dawn said to me was, well, Kitty's not done. He's just done with his body. It's the end of a cycle for both of you. And he's going to come back as an orange cat, he says. And as soon as she said that, I was like, okay. So, number one, I can trust my channel. I should at this point, but I can trust myself. And number two, Kitty's not done. And I know we all want to hear that, like when somebody we love is passing, that like, oh, you're gonna come back, whatever. But like, I felt it really seriously. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like, yeah, he's coming back. And so I asked her, like, does he have a time frame? Because just out of curiosity, she's like, weeks. So Kitty was ready to go. His body was done. That tumor has a prognosis of a month, and he was already past a month with it. Um, but I'm really sad and I'm grieving because, he filled the house with his kitty energy, and I miss that. But I do know he's coming back. And the reason I know that is because of all this work, the work that we do, that we are connecting with this energy to understand what it means to be a part of this, and like not just to like surrender ourselves to this mystery and just feel like, nothing makes any sense. Like, sometimes things can make sense. A lot of things this year have not. But I'm taking a lot of comfort in that, and I'm looking forward to seeing my cat again for sure. So just letting you know that, because there is a reason we do this, and it's not just to pass some time and like just talky and pull cards. It's so that you can live your life in a way that feels better for you, that makes you feel more connected, and that helps you through the hard times in a new and elevated understanding. So I wanted to share that with you. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to share it with you this morning, but I seem to be fine and didn't break down in tears. So um, we don't normally do story time so in depth on Coffee and Magic, but this is where we are right now. It's a wild time. It's a wild time, and it's exhausting. I'm very tired. So with that in mind, I'm going to start shuffling. I'm going to give you three things in a second. I haven't chosen them yet, but tell me how you're doing. How is your energy on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you at today? Tell me. Thank you, Beth. Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Ricky. All right. We've got 6s and 5s and 7s and 2s and 6s and a halves. All right. We're kind of all over the place today, huh? All right. That tracks. Ugh. Too many people sick. I'm telling you. I'm so sorry. Energy shift big time. Beth is feeling in limbo. Stephanie is feeling anxious, traveling back to. Oh, safe travels to you. Arlene's all over the place and cannot pick a number. She's like, what are numbers? My goodness. Yeah, I don't love this energy. It's not my favorite energy. It's not the one that I choose to have as our energy for right now. Obviously, the good thing about energy is that it changes all the time. So if you don't like it, just wait a minute and it'll change. But just remember, it's Monday and we're ramping up towards a full moon. Okay, we've got a lot of shifts happening energetically this week, and I think our job right now is to just kind of hang in, honestly. All right, so here are your 3 things to, honestly, this is going to sound so lame, you guys, but this is what's coming through. We're going to do numbers this morning, which is interesting to me, but it's me very basic. You're choosing 1, 2, or 3. I'm so sorry. I don't know why we're doing this. It's the most boring one we could possibly do. But 1, 2, or 3. Just which one? 1, 2, or 3. And just drop your selection into the comments. And I am finishing this shuffle, and I will do 1 in a second. It's probably because my brain is done. That's probably why. My brain's like, we are all set, Sarah. We don't do any more of the thinky things. So you're choosing 1, 2, or 3. These are collective group polls, I guess you would call them. So, but listen to all of them regardless of what you've chosen and just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. All right. Jesus Christ. We are doing this today, aren't we? Okay. Good morning, Janelle. Lucky for you, I had an expansive story time and we're just getting to the cards, so you didn't miss anything. So if you're just joining, I'm about to start the card pulls. You're choosing from 1, 2, or 3, okay? That's what we're doing today. Stay there. 1, 2, or 3. Thank you, babe. All right, and tell me when you're ready, because I've got 1 on deck. And don't let that sway your opinion. Nicole says, hi, Janelle, miss you. Well, not to be a spoiler alert, but you guys are going to be in workshop together, so you'll get to see each other. Hello, Paz. Just saw your vid on only being around people you feel safe with. Same, I'm in death and rebirth right now. I'm feeling that big time. Still feeling it. Paz amor chorizo. All right. We're ready. Okay. Hey, Cassie. One, two, or three, my friends. One, two, or three. Yeah, guys, like for for our 3 month, it's like it's all your favorite people. So I think you're gonna be very happy. It's all your faves. Okay. Um, are you ready? This is one. Okay, I know Instagram's ready. Are you ready, TikTok? And are you ready, YouTube? Hey, so just real quick, this mug is made by one of our Normalized Magic members, Amanda Pendleton. And if you are local, she's going to be at Dill's Tavern. It's Dill's Tavern in Dillsburg um, this weekend, I think Friday and Saturday, with all of her amazing pottery. So, yeah, check her out. It's fast become one of my favorite. It has a very good hold balance situation going on here. Loves it. Okay, here we go. This is one. You've got the death card. No website. She's just local. You've got goblin and you've got protection. So this is quite a stack if you chose number one. Let's get into it and see what your story is. So death, the goblin, and protection. Don't shoot me for this one. I know it's early. So talking about the goblin, is it you? Are you the problem? um, let's talk first about the goblin. So the goblin today for this morning is going to signify a part of your personality that has been molded by, by some traumas, by some experiences that have, hurt you in the past, by conditioning from society and your parents. There's a lot of stuff wrapped up into this thing, but it's very ego based, this part of your personality. And this has been something that you've definitely realized, especially as we've come out of eclipse season and Scorpio season. It's that part of you that was the last thing you wanted to look at, that's like, no, thank you. Like, I'm looking at everything else, but this one needs to stay. And this is that part of you that's like, you're looking in the mirror and you're like, all right, let's see, we're going to have to tackle this today. The reason that this has been so difficult to release is because there is definitely a part of you that doesn't understand who you are without this. Like, who would I be without this? Just like so many of us feel like, who would we be if we took responsibility for everything that happened to us? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's hard. It's a hard one to put your mind around. However, it's the end of that cycle. The death card in this deck, there's a death card and then there's a birth rebirth card. The death card is the end of a cycle, meaning that energy is not going to be used again for you. It's not dead energy. No energy actually dies, but it's not going to be for you anymore. Something is not for you anymore. This part of you is not for you anymore. So you are asked to release, and it will feel weird because it feels like it's a part of you. But this is where we are. That's why we're so scritchy right now. That's why people are popping off and the world is imploded, because as above, so below. This is happening collectively as well as individually. It's that part of us that we just didn't want to see, because once you do see it, it's like now we have to do something about it. And it's the end of that cycle. Protection is up again, and this was here on Friday as well, I believe, and has been coming up. Just when you see that word protection, instead of like seeing that word, I just want you to see another word: boundaries, 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 because you cannot hold a funeral for an old part of yourself and expect it to actually pass and end if you are surrounding yourself with all the same things that trigger the need for this. Do you see what I'm saying? This is here for a reason because it has protected you from some things. And some of those things are going to be around you for the holidays. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have your boundaries up, if you have not created your boundaries, all the work you're doing to kind of let go of this is going to be undone pretty quickly because you're going to need this to deal with the lack of boundaries. Do you see what I'm saying? So, boundary up, my friends. And just remember, I'll say it every time we pull the protection card and every time we talk about boundaries. You create boundaries and it's your job to enforce them. It's nobody else's job. Okay? So, that is one for this morning. I hope that resonated. Good morning, Rachel. Hello, the Meta Mama. We're just getting into the sensory card pulls. If you're just joining, you can choose from 2 or 3. Those are the creative choices for today. Excuse me. We're awfully quiet. Did that resonate with you? I'm shuffling for 2. All right. You won't believe this. All right. So 2 is up. Tell me when you're ready. Okay, so again, if you're just joining us, we're doing the card pulls. You're choosing now from 2 or 3. If you missed the beginning, you can always catch the replay on YouTube or my IGTV. They're always there. Here is your story if you chose number 2. We have this again. We have it again. So, I mean, I think that this is something we need to hear today. Boundaries. We've got communication. And we've got the king. Now, this is going to be probably, I would say, the most straightforward, like coffee and magic sensory card pull reading I probably have ever given because there's not a lot of decoding for this one. You're being asked to find clear and direct communication. There is something that you need to communicate, and it is time to stop dancing around it. Time to stop making it prettier, easier, different, whatever. Throwing a different dress on it, whatever it is. You're being asked to like just knock it off and be straight. As straight as you can be, right? It's the difference between all right, the king energy is that masculine driving force energy. And that's the energy coming through the throat chakra right now. It's not about being mean. It's not about being pushy. It's about being incredibly clear so that you're not confused and nobody else is confused either. What happens when you're really clear? Well, a few things happen when you're really clear. People know what you mean. They may still decide not to understand you, and that will be their choice. If somebody decides to intentionally not understand you or just doesn't have the capacity to understand you when you've been incredibly clear, that's good. That tells you something. That's information, right? But if you refuse to be clear in your words and your actions, then you cannot expect anyone around you to understand you or to meet you halfway anytime. And sometimes that's what we want, because if we set people up to be confused, then we can't be disappointed when they don't come correct, right? Clear communication is on deck for you this week. Clear communication. No stuttering, no hesitation, just straight to the point. No fluff. Okay? And then boundaries. And for some of you, this is what you need to communicate. It's about the boundaries. It's literally saying to somebody, No, no. It's sometimes that's the full sentence. Um, yeah, that's what it feels like. So that's number 2 for you. That's all there is to say about that one. Hello, good morning, good morning. All right, and now I'm shuffling for number 3. So if you just joined, maybe number 3 is for you. Did number 2 resonate if you chose that one? Exactly, no fluff. No editorialism. Oh, let's see what 3 has to say. Okay. Okay, so the next one is 3. So if you're just joining us, maybe 3 is for you. Again, you can watch the whole thing um, on IGTV or my YouTube if you missed the first 2 and you want to do that. You can also find all the other Coffee and Magics there. You know, that's your thing. You wanted to do that. Okay, so here's 3. You've got trust, the dragon, which I think was here on Friday as well. So more dragon energy. We like dragon energy. And we have the horse. You don't love the horse as much, but too bad. So sad. It's here. Let's talk about it. So trust, dragon, and the horse. So we're gonna put these in a different order this way. So when the horse comes up, um, I'm usually talking to a group of people who are incredibly self sufficient, maybe slightly micromanaging, and don't delegate. Don't ask for help. Don't accept help, but help everybody. Okay. Is that you? Are you that? Is it you? Are you that person who accepts no help from anybody, asks for no help ever, but helps everybody? You know, like try to stop you, that kind of thing. Um, okay, so everybody, all right. Look at me, just being super psychic this morning. How did I know? I talk to animals too. Okay, so you know, here's the thing, and I've said it more than one time, and I'm happy to continue saying it because we need to hear it. Apparently, um, it's not very impressive to help everybody and not ever accept help for yourself. It's it's an energetic imbalance that can't be ignored because of the way that energy works. Okay? So, you think of it like I think I haven't done this in a while. So here's my Ouroboros Infinity tattoo. But look at the shape of it. It's an infinity, right? It's an 8, just kind of constantly moving in a cycle. This is the giving and receiving. And you can apply this to anything because that's how energy works. If you're only giving, you're missing half the equation. And what are you left with? What is that? I'll wait. What is that shape? I haven't glitched. I'm literally waiting for you to tell me what shape that is. Do it right now. It's a circle. Correct. It is a loop, guys, going nowhere. It's you doing this, all right? Doing this, doing this, doing this. If you are only giving and you do not receive, you are not involved in the infinite loop, the infinity loop of energetic exchange. You're not playing. You think you are, but you're not. You're not playing. Okay? It's not how the energy works. And I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if it feels uncomfortable. Like it's just math, guys. Like it's got nothing to do with your feelings about it. If you are only giving and you are not receiving, you're not playing this game. Okay? You're playing a different game. And it's one that you probably are going to get real burnt out from. You're probably already burnt out as hell. Okay? It's time to receive. And if you've been frustrated, if you've been doing stuff like learning how to manifest and like doing rituals with the moon cycles and like taking courses and learning about your traumas and doing all the things, right? You've been doing that, but you are not willing to receive. You probably found yourself really frustrated because you're like, this shit doesn't work. Manifesting doesn't work. Nothing works because you're not receiving. If you can't receive, you can't be mad that you're not getting anything. If you refuse to receive, you can't be upset that all of the good things never happened to you. You're literally blocking yourself from everything you say you want. And that's where being very honest is necessary. Is what you want what you say you want? Or do you really enjoy the chaos and turmoil of being constantly just short of getting it? Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the answer is for that, but you're being asked to allow yourself to receive. I know this is the horse, but this is like asking for help, receiving the help, and trusting that. Okay. And I want to just say, because, I kind of went hard on you this morning on this one. There is a reason that that you may not trust others to help you. Okay. This isn't a you problem, but it is a you solution. Don't blame yourself for having been conditioned by society to not know how to receive. That's not your fucking fault. It's literally ingrained in us, especially women, never to receive and always to give. And the best part of that is to believe that the energy of giving is also the receiving. Do you see? Like, oh, okay, Carrie says, leave my chaos kink alone. No, if you have a chaos kink, and I have a bit of a chaos kink, that's okay. As long as we can sit back and we can say, listen, I understand that I enjoy a certain level of chaos and I like to complain about it sometimes. And I know that. So don't worry about it. Right. Like, just own your shit, guys. It's okay. Like, it's fine. But like, just don't pretend that it's not what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to the cards. So you've got the horse and you got the trust. So allowing help, delegation, taking a break when you need it, and trusting that. And now you also have the dragon energy coming through. And I mean, it's never sad times when dragon energy comes through because this is fire energy, it's power, it's giving you strength, it's giving you some inspiration, and it's also like very it's very clearing, okay? Dragons clear the chaos energy from the ethers, all right? And so everything that's being dredged up, this dragon energy is coming in to clear it for you, to give you some fresh air, to give you a little bit of a release from like the heaviness of releasing so much stuff at once. So that's really good. But there's movement is kind of the key here, guys. Like, movement is here. Are you ready to move with it, or are you kind of going to be stuck in your loop? Voop, 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 you know what I mean? But yeah, it's hard to trust people because sometimes people really shouldn't be trusted. But can we learn to trust ourselves first and then just kind of go from there? Right? All right, so that is number 3. And just as an FYI, I'm getting excited. This is the last day to apply for the Normalized Magic 3-month workshop situation. Never know what to call my stuff. Um, we have an amazing group. So many of you from Coffee and Magic are in it, and I can't wait. But these are the things we're going to be working on. These are the things we're going to be talking about in our small group discussions. Like, how do we do that? Sounds great. How do I ask for help? How do I receive help? How do I make peace with my chaos kink and like not feel bad about it? Like all of those things we're going to be talking about for 3 months, and it's going to be great. So if you are interested in applying, go to sarahmala.com/lifestyle, or you can send me a DM on IG. I'm so excited too, babe. Today is the last day to get in for the January session for 3 months. If you apply after midnight tonight, then you'll be for the next round, which will be in March or April, whatever 3 month. I can't with time. Somebody asked me the other day, like, "Oh, do you want to like go to this thing in May?" And I was like, "What is wrong with you? Like, how do we even know May exists right now? Like, I can't put myself in May of 2023. You crazy? Making plans. It's insane. All right, why am I still shuffling? We're done with this. Um, I'm trying to see if we're doing a card. Nope, we're not doing another card. That's it for today. Thank you for joining me. I love you. I will see you again on Friday, 10 a.m. for more Coffee and Magic. If you have any questions, like I said, about the membership, send me a DM on Instagram. I hope you have an amazing Monday. Try to drink water where you can. Mwah, mwah. And just as a side note, it helps me so much when you like and share and save my things. It helps get me on the algorithm. So anything that you can do in that direction, I would be very appreciative of. Mwah. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, my friends. Mwah. And goodbye, TikTok.